Yeah, hi there. So this episode is going to be very short for different reasons. One, I'm running late for some other things, and I have to get this thing out. It's a must. So I'm still on my $100 million leads by Alex. Yee, my phone nearly fell out. But Alex Hormozi, right? And I'm at the point where he's talking about advertising your product or service. And he says that, to be very, very honest, in business, all you need to start a business is a product to sell, some tax ID, that is some government, that is tax ID, government permit, whatever it is, and people to advertise to. Then it talks about the four ways to advertise your products. Now, the first thing is there are two kinds of people when it comes to talking to about your product. One, people who already know you to some extent, and people who do not know you at all, strangers. The people who know you to some extent are the warm audience. They are warm because they already know you. They've given you some level of permission to speak to them. Cold people don't know anything about you. So you have to, it's a different approach, right? Then he says that fine. Then the ways to reach out to these people is also different. There are ways to reach out to people one-on-one, and there are ways to reach out to people one-to-many. And the very end, one-to-many is like, I create this video and I'm reaching out to many people. Reaching out to many people. It's a leveraged approach versus one-on-one texting where I'm on a phone call with people. That's one-on-one. One-to-many is you're creating content. You are doing activities that you don't need to replicate ever again. So with those four four ways of advertising, if you're talking to a warm audience and it is one-on-one approach, you're most likely going to be doing a lot of DMs, a lot of phone calls and whatnot. So it's slow, it's progressive. And to be very, very honest, this is a path that a lot of people should actually consider first. Having warm audience that you're reaching out to one by one. And it's a mistake that I think I made when I tried to sell my teacher product. And we're talking to people that were strangers. Meanwhile, we had people in our contact list who we should have started from initially. Well, that's a lesson that I really wish I knew on time, starting with people that I already know. Then the second approach is you have people who already know you, but you're going to use the one-to-many approach. And in a context like this is like creating content. This is why a personal brand is super interesting, because you can leverage the audience you already have. They already know you. They are already warm people already. They are cool with you reaching out to them. So it's perfect. It's a very nice idea. And that is why people would always say, oh, it's always nice to build your personal brand. Yes, it is nice to build your personal brand. At the same time, it is nice to also see how you can help them reach their goal and they pay you for it. So that is, you create content. If you are using the one-to-many approach, which in my opinion is like best, it is one action going out to plenty people at the same time, as opposed to one action going to one person. So it's not like each of these approach is better. There's a lot of things you should put into perspective. For example, the debate I saw on X where somebody says there's no way one-to-one will be better than one-to-many. I say it depends. If you're in enterprise sales, if you sell sophisticated machines like 3D printers, medical laboratories, nobody is going to order that off Amazon. You're going to, or off Twitter tweets. You're most likely going to have to do a one-on-one with them. Most likely a one-on-one. Even though you have an audience, you also need to have things like certifications and whatnot. If you're marketing to to the top financial firms, you're marketing some sophisticated software, you're still going to do one-to-one. So if you're doing one-to-one, it's either you are maybe just starting out, right, and you're trying to take things slowly. At the same time, you need feedback, you need to step up slowly. It depends on your business. If you're doing one-to-one can give you an edge in terms of feedback, because you want to understand certain things, taking things slowly, which I advise all startups do. And it reminds me of a phrase that there was never a startup that died because it did not scale fast enough. So That's by the side. So one-to-one is okay if you're just starting out, or one-to-one is okay if you're in sophisticated sales. At the same time, it's okay when you're dealing with quality. The keyword there is quality. Yeah. If you're dealing with quality leads, it's also super important. I'm not too sure if I'm in frame, but forgive me for that. Then, on the other hand, where you have your cold audience, if you're doing one-to-one, it's still the same DMing strangers because they don't know you. You are DMing strangers, you are calling people, maybe you gather leads, you purchase, people purchase contact lists, they purchase emails. So that is a cold audience. They don't know anything about you. So which, to be very honest, a lot of businesses. So I believe that for startups, right? Or for my startup instead, after going to the people that I know, the next thing now is to go to people that I don't know and reach out to them one-on-one. So I'll be breaking everything down, but later, but get the point first. So normal same calling them, texting them, sending them emails, DMs and everything. That is where you hear things like 100 DMs to strangers, although I want to touch on that very, very soon. Now, the other part where you're reaching out to people who don't know you yet, but you want to use the approach of one-to-many. You're going to have to run paid advertisements. Either you run paid advertisements or you do things like, should I say, collaboration on social media, where you can collaborate with other content creators. Why? They don't know you yet, but it will help. Yeah, at the end of the day, it still turns into warm outreach. Yeah, it can warm them up. Sorry, it's a wrong analogy. But for cold outreach, and you want to reach out to one-to-many cold people who don't know you yet, your best approach is paid advertisements, which is where I think that is the third level that my startup will be going towards. So my startup is, first of all, people that I know one-on-one. Next thing is people who I don't know going one-on-one. Then for startups, why I believe they move into paid ads. They will move into paid ads. And why I believe that this is the best approach is because when you're doing one-to-one as a low-ticket startup, by mind you, I'm into SaaS, it will help you to get feedback. Trust me. You want things slow, so it's also best to keep that relationship, focus on quality and quantity. You're getting them in bits, quite all right. At the same time, you want to ask questions, get proper feedback. And as you are progressing, before you know it, you find out what works, what doesn't work, double down. And I'll give you I think I've given you a story before on my channel, but so I've come to discover that while I was interacting with these guys, right, I'll say cold audience, I got into an insight that I did not get into if we went into one-to-many, which is there's a market that's completely untapped with my product, and it is a consultant niche, which we want to examine properly and build something for them. We want to build personal relationship and see how we can solve your problems. So something like this is what is the benefit of one-to-one, because you can have that personal interaction, have that personal vibe. It's easier for you to get feedback as opposed to running ads. Then you have the one-to-many, which is running ads. So it's not like one is better than the other. It's just that they all have the roles they play. If you are into like software products, they all have different levels at which one is better than the other one, as compared to believing that, oh, I just pick one. And to be very, very frank, if you have been following me for a while, you should get to realize that anytime you are being stuck with two opposing options, two extreme options, I would always tell you to do the both of them. So if you're ever stuck with picking quality over quantity, I'll tell you to do both. If you're ever stuck with doing or being disciplined or being creative, I'll tell you to apply disciplined creativity. So you get the point. And that's something that I think I've noticed in life. One day I'll create a video on why I think that way and why I think is the best way moving forward in everything in life. You have to choose between the two extreme options, always end up with the both of them. Thank you very much. My next video, which hopefully will be today when I come back from my MMA class, I'll be talking about warm outreach and how it has been going for me and what I think you can do with the steps and everything. Because he did lay down some steps. I'll give you like a short story and call it a day. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon. And bye for now.